Thank you for bearing with me over the past couple of days. I've actually been very sick. I'm recently getting over that cold, so that's why I haven't posted these past couple of days. But anyways, that's not going to stop me altogether from posting videos, but in case my voice sounds a little bit lower right now, that's why, getting over a cold. But anyways, let's get into this video about Clelin Ferrell. I think he's an interesting guy to talk about. He was one of the most criticized picks out of the draft because there was a lot of good players that went after him. There was Devin White and Josh Allen, just to name a couple. And while personally, I was very high on Josh Allen going into the draft, I still would have rather had Josh Allen. But that being said, it's not really too fair to compare Ferrell to Allen because, they're two different players. They play on two different teams now. And let's just talk about Ferrell and what he did with the Oakland Raiders because I thought at times he looked really good out there, actually. Like, take a look at this play. It's going to be a run to the right side of the screen, and so they're not going to worry too much about Ferrell, who's right over there on the left side of the screen. They're just going to have the tight end, Hunter Henry, who is in that box. He will be the one who is then going to make sure that he blocks Ferrell. This way, Ferrell is taken out of the play, and then they can run to the right side of the screen, pick up some yards that way. And so what Henry is going to do is he's not even really going to worry too much about blocking him. He's just going to kind of go low like that. As you see, he goes low, just tries to basically trip up Ferrell, and by that point, Ferrell won't be able to run over and make this play. But what Ferrell does, very interestingly, is he sort of puts his hands there and just scoots his feet back so that he doesn't really get hit in any way. All he does now is just has like a dog by his legs, essentially. He just has something he has to step over. And that's going to allow him to run over, and then he's quick enough to still help be a part of this play when oftentimes when you're a defensive end who's on the opposite side of the field to where the ball is getting ran to, you often won't be a part of the play. So he was able to be a part of a play that he probably had no business being a part of, and that's one of the things that he does well, is he's very good in the running game of just finding ways to have positive impact. This play was another play I liked. It's, again, going to be in the running game. It's going to be a run to the left side of the screen right now, and so this means that Ferrell will have a chance to be a part of this play. And ideally, the way that the Chargers want him to be blocked is just have their left tackle block him like that. He can just sort of block Ferrell a little bit closer to the top half of the screen, block him a little bit up, and by that point, then this could give the halfback basically just options, wherever Ferrell gets blocked to. If he starts going to the left side of the screen, then you run to the right. If he starts running to the right, you run to the left. But watch Ferrell's first step here, and watch how quickly he just gets around him like that. This isn't supposed to happen. This isn't the way the Chargers drew this up whatsoever. Ferrell just quickly read that, okay, he wants me to go to the left side of the screen, so I'm not going to go over in that direction. I'm going to move over to my left or to the tackle's right. That way he's able to run over and still help be a part of this play. It actually is still a good piece of running there to pick up some yards, but Ferrell did his job very well on that play. I think that little things like that's honestly what I look for when I'm talking about a rookie is, do you do some small things very well? I'm not so much concerned about, can you be a dominating force already? Yes, it is always nice when a Nick Bosa comes in and is just automatically a great player, a clear elite talent. That's always nice, but you can't expect every first-round pick to be that way. Some guys are not going to just burst onto the scenes like that. And what I want to look at is potential more so than how good are you. If you're only a 5-sack guy today, but you have the potential to be a 18-sack guy, well, I'd rather have you than the guy who is a 10-sack guy, but has pretty much reached his ceiling. Like, this play was another play I liked, where it's going to be a twist, so Ferrell is going to run over there. He's going to run to the left guard's left side of his body. And then what they're going to do is they're going to pull an interior lineman over to like that. Basically, hopefully one of the offensive linemen gets a little bit too fooled by this. They sell on it too much, and then somebody is able to get free and get the Rivers for a sack. That's what you're hoping to happen here if you are the Oakland Raiders. But take a look at what happens right when this ball is snapped. So as you see, Ferrell is getting ready to run into the left guard right now. But what I really want to take a look at is just the absolute force that he is going to run into him with here. Watch how he just blows him out of the way and then is able to run over and get the Rivers for a sack. And that kind of a hit is not something a lot of guys can do. That's why they spent a 4th overall pick on him, because he can make plays like that. He can completely just bulldozer over an offensive lineman who was admittedly still distracted by an interior lineman, but even so, that's something that a lot of defensive ends in the NFL can't do, and that's why they decided to draft Ferrell, because he's a really strong guy. That was definitely one of the plays that I saw that I was like, oh, okay, that's a good play. That's something you want to see somebody be able to do in the NFL level. Make one of those plays where he can make a an opposing NFL level player look a little bit silly. And I personally think he accomplished that. I also really like this play, where what's going to happen is that first things first, he is going one-on-one against a tight end. So just on paper, this is a pretty positive situation for him. However, Rivers is going to get rid of the ball very quickly. That's why they're having a tight end block him. They wouldn't do this if Rivers was going to hold on to the ball for a while, because it's a goal line situation. How long does Rivers really need to hold on to the ball for? And so after the ball is snapped, Rivers throws it. And if you look at Ferrell is getting blocked out of the way. So you might be thinking, okay, why did I show this play? But the reason I showed this play is because Ferrell was actually going to get his hand up and knock the ball away. And no, I am not joking. He's actually going to find a way to do that. You notice he just disengaged his right arm, and watch how he leaps up and is able to sort of just get his hand in the way, knocks it down. Those reflexes are insane. I mean, he might have a career as a hockey goalie if this football thing doesn't work out, because the fact that he was able to get his hand up that quickly and knock the ball away, again, that's something that you look for when you're trying to evaluate a talent and seeing what's his potential. Well, I mean, that's J.J. Watt-like in a sense, the way to get your hands up that quickly. That's not him just putting his hands up because he sees there's a throw. That's him realizing the ball's in his area, then trying to get his hand up and succeeding at it. Really tremendous play, not easy to do whatsoever. And while all those things are quirky and, fun, I think that one thing we do have to talk about is just how good is he as a pass rusher? Because at the end of the day, that's what they need him to be, is someone who can rush the passer. That's great that you can do all of those little things well, but at the end of the day, I mean, anybody can do all of those little things well. But what will make you a $20 million player is the guy who can get to the passer, and if he wants to be that, he is going to have to get to the passer, and so let's talk about him getting to the passer. On this play, there is going to be a tight end in the game, but he is not blocking Ferrell. It is actually going to be just a left tackle one-on-one against Ferrell. And so this basically means that Ferrell, if he wants to try to get around a tackle, it's going to take him just a little bit longer, because even though the tight end isn't blocking, he's still kind of in the way, so you just have more space now if you're a tackle to work with. But while Ferrell does run to the outside, look at how he still is able to get around, to the point where you see a tackle right there. He's trying to get his hands on Ferrell, but he doesn't really get his hands where he wants to. He's trying to get that right arm on Ferrell's left shoulder pad, and then also get his left arm pretty much as far over to Ferrell's right side of his body as possible, but he's kind of got them both just around the shoulder pad area, which just is not what he wants. This is not good hand placement whatsoever, and he is not going to be able to hold Ferrell too much here. So Ferrell is going to easily get the edge. At this point, basically what you would want to do is kind of put your arm under to maybe try to grab his pec area and try to push him behind Rivers. But as you see, Ferrell is able to move so quickly that now if you're a tackle, you can't even get that kind of hand placement, and Ferrell is going to pretty much have a straight shot to Rivers. Ferrell is then able to run over and get to Phillip Rivers for a sack, and that's just the kind of thing that he can do in the pass rush game. Is he's explosive for his size, which is definitely why they drafted him. Everyone talked about Nick Bosa's speed and Josh Allen's speed, but you know what? Ferrell can move himself. I mean, he would have gone first overall in some drafts. He would have been the first edge rusher drafted in plenty of drafts. The only reason why he was a lot of people thought should have been the third in this draft was just because there's two very good talents ahead of him. And again, at the end of the day, who really cares about who went before him or ahead of him? All it really matters is how good is he, and he's got the potential, and he's already pretty good. I also thought he had some pretty aware plays. He definitely made some rookie mistakes as well, but I thought that he definitely made some aware plays. Some plays that I thought, okay, that was very good. Good job, Clelin, Ferrell, impressive. And one of those plays is this one, where he's going to run over like that as though he's rushing the passer, but then what Denver is going to do is have their left tackle and left guard both run out to block, because this is going to be a screen pass, actually, so they're simply just going to get it to Lindsey, and then Lindsey tries to run, pick up as many yards as possible. So for Ferrell, basically the hope is that Ferrell rushes over to try to get to the quarterback, get a sack here, but then when he runs over there, they're able to flip it to the halfback, and now Ferrell has been taken out of the play. But after the ball is snapped, Ferrell does a pretty good job of quickly realizing what's going on and getting into the area to try to make this play. Now, they still are able to gain a little bit of yards. Ferrell doesn't really impact that play too much. I think personally, one thing you might want to do if you're Ferrell is don't be afraid to hit him early, because you're behind the line of scrimmage. So behind the line of scrimmage, or actually up until 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, there is no pass interference, so You can hit him a little bit early there, but maybe he just wasn't exactly sure where he was on the field and didn't want to risk it, which is understandable. However, he did a great job there, basically guaranteeing that that play was not going to be a huge gain no matter what. He was in the area and was in position to try to make a play. And honestly, those are the things I look for in a defensive end when I'm trying to evaluate how good can they be in the future, is just what do you do well now, and then also what do you do great now? Because the idea is that, well, Ferrell is already kind of the jack of all trades type. If he can just be great at certain things, then all you have to do is just be decent at everything else, and you can find yourself a spot in the NFL for a very long time. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I thought of Ferrell's first season as an NFL player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, sorry about my voice. I know it's a little bit different in this video. I don't know how different, obviously, but yeah, I mean, although granted, with how many comments I get complaining about how annoying my voice is, maybe you guys like this voice, I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, of course, and as always, thanks for watching.